Annie A. Thank you so much for your videos. I have a question about Scientology buzzwords and how they are used as a PR strategy, especially by celebrities in Scientology. The first is the word bigot. When John Sweeney was investigating Scientology, Tommy Davis kept calling him a bigot over and over again. He sounded like a broken record. When Leah Remini left Scientology, Kirstie Alley went on the Howard Stern show and said she no longer associates with Remini, not because she left, but because she's a bigot for criticizing Scientology. If there's a news report featuring an ex-Scientologist, the news broadcasters have to read parts of these long rebuttals, which almost always accuse the critic of being a bigot. It's as if they intentionally say this word over and over again to suggest that any person who looks at Scientology critically or questions its intentions is actually a bigot. And decent people should despise bigots, right? The other buzzword is religion. When I think about it, most people don't usually refer to their faith, whatever it may be, as their religion. They might say my faith or my belief system, but not necessarily my religion. Yet, Tom Cruise always speaks of Scientology by saying, my religion. Tommy Davis accused Sweeney of being a bigot by attacking his religion. Danny Masterson from That 70s Show said critics can go fuck themselves for attacking his religion just because it's new. There are countless other examples. There are other buzzwords, but I wanted to specifically ask about these two. I guess I'm just wondering if the constant use of these words as a defense mechanism is some sort of tactic or PR strategy for getting the public, especially those who don't really know or care much about Scientology, to assume that anyone who comments negatively about the Church of Scientology is a bigot who also hates religion. If you have any insight, I'd love to hear it. Thanks. Yeah, Annie, that's exactly what's going on. Scientology is far from the only group that uses PR buzzwords. You hear it out of politicians' mouths all the time. And here you've nailed two places where Scientology uses these buzzwords very heavily, right? They are very definitely trying to morph and mold public opinion about critics of Scientology by definitely, positively, and repeatedly positioning them as bigots. And bigots are bad. I don't think there is anybody who would say, yes, I want to be a bigot, or yes, bigotry is a good thing. It is universally reviled and hated, which is why Scientology uses the word, right? Then you have religion, right? Scientology is desperate to hold on to their religious status. They must continually remind people and place in their minds the idea that Scientology is a religion. Now, I don't happen to think that Scientology is a religion. I happen to think it's a money-making scam. And I have a pretty educated background on which to make that judgment. So I don't particularly like to refer to it as a religion. When I do, I'm doing so because that's what they call it, and that's how people understand it. And I think the term is debatable, right? But Scientology definitely is telling Tom Cruise, Kirstie Alley, all their celebrities to repeatedly use that term when referring to Scientology so that it will, echo in people's minds that Scientology equals religion equals attacking Scientology equals attacking a religion, right? And people generally react negatively to people who attack religions. Freedom of religion is very important in the United States, always has been, and Scientology plays on that. And also, there's an idea that that religion is, of course, sacred, right? So, there's something about a group that calls themselves a religion that automatically you get in a lot of people's minds, especially in the United States, very conservative, very religious country, you automatically get an association of goodness or wholesomeness or contributing to the community or doing good works. If it's a religion, it must be blank, right? Fill in the blank, right? Must be good, must be holy, must be faithful, must be, one of these things that people assume. They make vast assumptions about groups based on labels, and religion is a big one. So if you can get a group together and you can get it called a religion, man, you're gonna get a lot of mileage out of that term, right? And so, and bigot, of course, is one of the points of mileage that you get, because then if somebody's attacking your group, they're a bigot. They're anti-religion. They're anti-First Amendment. There's so many things that you can then label that person and call that person and criticize the critic, using these words. And that gets a lot of public opinion, unthinking public opinion, uneducated public opinion on the side of Scientology, because people don't know, don't care to know, don't want to find out, about it, because it takes a little while to find out all about how bad Scientology really is. And so they just automatically assume that, oh, well, maybe there's something good to Scientology. Now, I think at this point, fortunately, there's been so much bad press, so much exposure of Scientology over the last few years, that it's pretty nailed at this point that people really do get, in general, that Scientology is not actually religion. It's not actually valuable and doesn't actually do anything for anybody, that it is all about money. And I think that's pretty well known at this point, which is why the Scientology is so desperate to keep putting those buzzwords out there and trying to change that idea, right? But they're doing a really bad job at it. They're going to continue to do a really bad job at it, because there isn't anybody in the world of Scientology who really knows what they're doing when it comes to creating and molding public opinion. I mean, look at what they do. Look at the press they put out. Look at the commercials they put out. Are these the products of people who understand how to communicate to the masses? They're not. And so the good news, for me at least, about this is that I feel safe and secure in the knowledge that they're going to continue to not really successfully change public opinion about them. The Scientology is not going to be able to change how people think about them, because they don't know how. So what you're seeing with these buzzwords is their best attempt, and it's not a very good one. There you go.